Namaskar and welcome to this special presentation on DD India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the historic Dharam Dhwaj, or the historic flag hoisting at the Shri Ram Mandir, the Shri Ram temple in Ayodhya. And the Dharam Dhwaj ceremony, it marks an important milestone. It's an important milestone that indicates the completion of the Shri Ram temple in Ayodhya. Prime Minister has participated in various ceremonies, and we've had our correspondent on the ground who has given us all the inputs from the ground. We have witnessed that entire ceremony for about 3 hours, from about 10 o'clock this morning when the Prime Minister had arrived. We showed you his entire, the road show, as well as how he visited each of the temples in the vicinity of the complex, and then finally the hoisting of the flag, on which is the pinnacle of the entire ceremony and the completion. The pinnacle in itself, also the spike, the highest point on the temple, that's where the flag was hoisted. And we are going to be talking to guests about the importance of today. So let's get this all into context. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the RSS Sarsang Chalak Mohan Bhagwat, they ceremonially hoisted the saffron flag on the shikhar of the sacred Shri Ram Janmabhoomi temple. That symbolizes the completion of the temple's construction. The right-angled triangular flag, it measures 10 feet in height and 20 feet in length, and it bears the image of a radiant sun, symbolizing the brilliance and the valor of Bhagwan Shri Ram, with an Om which was inscribed, and this Om along with the image of the Kovidara tree. And the Prime Minister says that this flag sends a timeless message. India stands steadfast in its values and builds its future upon them. The Shri Ram Janmabhoomi temple, it stands as the culmination of centuries of enduring faith. He said that this Dharam Dhwaj is not just a flag, it's the flag of the rejuvenation of Indian civilization. Let's now go back and listen to what the Prime Minister said.
ये धर्म ध्वजा केवल एक ध्वजा नहीं, ये भारतीय सभ्यता के पुनर्जागरण का ध्वज है। इसका भगवा रंग, इस पर रचित सूर्य वंश की ख्याति, वर्णित ओम शब्द और अंकित कोविदार वृक्ष राम राज्य की कीर्ति को प्रतिरूपित करता है। ये ध्वज संकल्प है, ये ध्वज सफलता है, ये ध्वज संघर्ष से सृजन की गाथा है, ये ध्वज सदियों से चले आ रहे स्वप्नों का साकार स्वरूप है। ये ध्वज संतों की साधना और समाज की सहभागिता की सार्थक परिणति है। साथियों, आने वाली सदियों और सहस्त्र शताब्दियों तक ये धर्म ध्वज प्रभु राम के आदर्शों और सिद्धांतों का उद्घोष करेगा।
The Prime Minister said that the spirit of Ram Rajya continues to guide society, policy and the nation's character. And the saffron flag that flies atop the sacred peak, it is not just a significant of victory, it symbolizes unwavering devotion, sacrifice, austerity, struggle, patience, compassion and truth. These are the values that millions have preserved across generations. The Prime Minister also said that the city of Ayodhya is witnessing yet another pinnacle of India's cultural consciousness, and the moment of the flag hoisting ceremony atop the spire of the Shri Ram Janmabhoomi temple is unique, it's divine. He said that today the entire country, India, and the entire world as well, they are both filled with the essence of Lord Ram. In the heart of every devotee of Lord Ram, he said, there is unparalleled satisfaction, limitless gratitude, and immense divine bliss. The Prime Minister said that the wounds of centuries are healing and that the pain of centuries, that pain is coming to an end today, as the resolve of centuries also is being fulfilled. And the Prime Minister said that this day marks the completion of a yagna, that in fact it's a sacred one, a sacred fire remained, which has remained lit, which has been lit for over 500 years. For 500 years, as today the energy of Lord Ram is being established at the summit of the Grand Ram Temple in the form of this Dharma Dhwaja. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Sapta Mandir, and this Sapta Mandir houses temples related to Maharishi Vashishta, Maharishi Vishwamitra, Maharishi Agastya, Maharishi Valmiki, Devi Ahilya, Nishadaraj Guha, and Mata Shabri. He also visited the Sheshabtar Mandir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and the UP Governor Anandiben Patel, offered prayers at the Mata Annapurna Mandir. And after this, he also performed darshan and puja at the Ram Darbar Garbh Grah. And this, in fact, is the main temple. The rule of Lord Shri Ram is beyond the mere religious ideal. It's an eternal paradigm of humanity and governance. He taught that the purpose of power is not power or domination, it is actually service. And that is the foundation of a state. And that foundation is justice, not fear. And that the heart of the nation is its people, not the ruler. And Sanjay Singh, senior journalist, is joining us to put this all into context. Mr. Singh, thanks for being with us. So let's understand, this moment as a culmination of, let's say, not only several thousands of years, but at least over the last 500 years, it has been a struggle and a culmination. And the Prime Minister was talking really about how every devotee of Lord Ram would be immensely happy today.
Yes, this is a huge moment. This is a moment of pride, of pleasure, of happiness. And as Prime Minister said, this is also a moment of cultural rejuvenation. This is kind of revivalism of Indian cultural symbols. Vikas bhi, virasat bhi, that is your heritage and development. Anybody who has gone to Ayodhya and has seen that struggle, this is a moment of great pride and pleasure. That Dharma Dhwaja and the Prime Minister's speech today, I think the combination of the speech of spirituality, the quotes from Valmiki and Tulsi about Dharma Dhwaja, I don't think there can be any better description than what he said today. it had all connotations. Every single word would reach to heart of millions of Indians within country and outside. Those who have their faith in Bhagwan Ram, also those who believe in Sanatan, and even those who have slightest of connection with spirituality. This is one speech of Prime Minister which I think every Indian must hear in full. When he connects that today's world, today's India, and how our culture, our history, and it was colonialism and Macaulay in particular who instilled that sense of inferiority among millions of Indians, which continued post independence. We all know about that. The project of decolonization that he has undertaken. He talked about that. This is also a moment when he was doing a public awareness thing, instilling confidence, instilling a matter of pride as to what India is and what India was, and how India should transform itself into coming years by 2027. But Ayodhya, if you go to Ayodhya, and if you have been to Ayodhya, Ayodhya in the past, till say advent of Prime Minister Modi and and after that. Before that, people who visited Ayodhya, Ayodhya was reduced to a kasbah in Faizabad city. You didn't go to straight away to Ayodhya. You had to go to Faizabad. From there, it was known Faizabad. Ayodhya was one small township. Today, Ayodhya is a vibrant city. Has everything, huge infrastructure, all kinds of business activities coming up, hotels, people, you name anything, Ayodhya has everything. It has on banks of Saryu, that's a divine moment. You go there, sit there, spend time, and the Mandir, of course. I can relate, if I, time permitting.
Yes, please go ahead.
If I can tell you, when I had first gone to Ayodhya, and after being around, that was when Shiladhan movement was to be done in 2001, post Godhra incident. In fact, a day after Godhra and after some time when I visited that Ram Lalla Virajman, the kind of security there was, of course, there was huge security. You had to go through barricades, and even while entering that, even people who had small kind of tablets, say of high BP or some emergency drugs that were, of course, deposited. But that is not the point. When I was walking in through those barricades, and I practically had missed where Ramlalla Brajman was there. So one santri who was posted there, sitting there, he told me, "Kahan ja rahe hain? Inhi ko dekhne aaye hain. Where are you going? You have missed Ramlalla." And it was a small structure, structure which in Hindi we call chabutra, and there was a small kind of canopy. You almost missed that. Today, it's a matter of pleasure for every Indian, crores of Indians. It's a matter of pride. Of course, before that, we had Pran Pratishtha, and today this culminates everything, the 500 years of struggle, and that Ramlalla, when he was moved inside that disputed structure in 1949. This is culmination. This is a huge moment, culminating everything into one.
Indeed, and it also, it adds to the importance of Ayodhya going forward. Now that the temple has been completed, I mean, the whole completion has taken place. The area can become what one sees as a global spiritual center, and there is the Ramayan circuit that is good for tourism. This is only likely to increase now, and you were talking a little bit also about is the infrastructure getting in place for the growth and to create an ecosystem around the temple.
You drive down from Lucknow to Ayodhya, and it's a pleasure drive. That was never before. you enter Ayodhya and you keep, as you approach Ayodhya, the whole scenario changes and it's a very lovable, very likable scenario. The kind of economic transformation, people who used to say, mandir banane se kya hoga? What good a mandir would do? You should build a hospital, you should be this, you should build schools. Big hospitals have come up there, of course. Those who used to say, build a hospital, so hospital is there. इससे क्या होगा? The 45 crore people have visited there so far since the time of Pran Pratishtha. So you can imagine the kind of economic transformation that has gone around there. Because if this number of people are traveling from any part of the country, it is not just Ayodhya, it is adding to economy of each and every state from where these pilgrims are coming and returning. Also, the kind of economic activity around that Mandir Parisar, because obviously so many people are going there. They'll eat, they'll purchase something, they'll move around, they'll stay there. So of course, the economy relating to the temple economy, it goes in millions, it goes in billions. So, and the life transformation of lives in people who used to be there and people who have recently moved there, sensing the business opportunity, that is tremendous. So that story of economic transformation, when Prime Minister says, Virasat bhi, Vikas bhi, he is apt on the mark. It needed a strong willpower. This government has that kind of willpower to develop that, and also people, the kind of awareness that has come around in recent years. Of course, there are multiple voices. The kind of awareness about our culture, about our cultural pride that has come up there.
Yes.
We now sincerely believe that India has its moment. India had its great civilizational heritage, and we have to carry that civilizational heritage, mixing that with modern times. So that's a huge thing. And today this Dhwajarohan is kind of magnificent, one such example of that.
True, and let's break down some of what the Prime Minister said during his speech. I hope that we will also be able to play out some of the sound bites. But the Prime Minister talked about this being healing of centuries of wounds, and put that into context for us, because at the end, when a person is healed, when that healing process is over, there is that feeling of of something reaching fulfillment. So this fulfillment is something that maybe you can talk a little bit about.
See, we know that Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir was demolished by during Babur's reign, and it was called Babri Masjid, and that has been historically proved in the court. So we can. This is there is no harm in asserting that this was Ram Janmabhoomi, and this has been proved beyond doubt by the Supreme Court after years of decades of struggle. So that is one part of it. Now we have reclaimed that historicity, that legacy. Second, since then, since Mughal era, people have suffered in the sense hundreds and thousands of people have died in this struggle. But that colonial Mughal era and colonial period, during that period also there was a great deal of struggle from people, and all those movements, all those struggles saw brutality from the state. Come to post-independence era, when Ram Lalla was installed inside that disputed structure. There was a 10-day Ram Katha going on, and on final day, I think it was in December 1949, when post midnight, there was great deal of lighting, and there was great deal of shouting, and there was great deal of music, and then people started chanting Ram Lalla Prakat Hue, Ram Lalla Prakat Hue. And when I had gone to Ayodhya, there was a kind of a complaint was lodged, or an FIR was lodged by a constable there whose name was Muslim, but it's a beautiful read. It says, describes the scene and how Ram Lalla Prakat Hue, Prakatikaran, that has been described in details. Thereafter, it was not, of course, to liking of then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Govind Ballabh Pant was Chief Minister there. And there is, one should read those correspondence. And it was to him and the collector over there that the statue was not removed from there.
Right.
Lately, when L.K. Advani led that Ram Rath Yatra, L.K. Advani, as we know, was arrested in Samastipur by Lalu Prasad Yadav. It was a huge moment, and it was a big moment because when this Ram Rath Yatra had started, Prime Minister Narendra Modi then was a BJP Karyakarta, and he kind of organized the first leg from Somnath.
Right.
And the popular participation was such that it enthused everyone. And Mr. Modi, being a meticulous planner, his planning, his vision, his capacity to organize these things came alive during those Ram Rath Yatra.
Indeed. Mr. Singh, let's listen to Prime Minister speaking. Prime Minister said that the Dharm Dhwaja is not just a flag, it's the flag of rejuvenation of Indian civilization. In fact, Mr. Singh was also referring to that in his first answer.
धर्म ध्वजा केवल एक ध्वजा नहीं, ये भारतीय सभ्यता के पुनर्जागरण का ध्वज है। इसका भगवा रंग, इस पर रचित सूर्यवंश की ख्याति, वर्णित ओम शब्द और अंकित कोविदार वृक्ष राम राज्य की कीर्ति को प्रतिरूपित करता है। ये ध्वज संकल्प है, ये ध्वज सफलता है, ये ध्वज संघर्ष से सृजन की गाथा है, ये ध्वज सदियों से चले आ रहे स्वप्नों का साकार स्वरूप है। ये ध्वज संतों की साधना और समाज की सहभागिता की सार्थक परिणति है। साथियों, आने वाली सदियों और सहस्त्र शताब्दियों तक ये धर्म ध्वज प्रभु राम के आदर्शों और सिद्धांतों का उद्घोष करेगा।
In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited the Sapta Mandir and this houses temples related to Maharishi Vashishta, Maharishi Vishwamitra, Maharishi Agastya, Maharishi Valmiki, Devi Ahilya and Nishadaraj Guha, also Mata Shabari. Let's look at these visuals.
राम मंदिर का दिव्य प्रांगण भारत के सामूहिक सामर्थ्य की भी चेतना स्थली बन रहा है। यहां सप्त मंदिर बने हैं, यहां माता शबरी का मंदिर बना है, जो जनजातीय समाज के प्रेम भाव और आतिथ्य परंपरा की प्रतिमूर्ति है। यहां निषादराज का मंदिर बना है, ये उस मित्रता का साक्षी है जो साधन नहीं, साध्य को, उसकी भावना को पूजती है। यहां एक ही स्थान पर माता अहिल्या है, महर्षि वाल्मीकि है, महर्षि वशिष्ठ है, महर्षि विश्वामित्र है, महर्षि अगस्त्य है और संत तुलसीदास है। राम लला के साथ साथ इन सभी ऋषियों के दर्शन भी यहीं पर होते हैं। ये मंदिर हमारी आस्था के साथ साथ मित्रता, कर्तव्य और सामाजिक सद्भाव के मूल्यों को भी शक्ति देते हैं।
And on the occasion of the Dhwaj Arohan, at the Ayodhya temple. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, he spoke powerfully about the symbolism of the Ram temple and the decades-long resolve behind this construction. Let's listen.
श्री राम मंदिर पर फहराता यह केसरिया ध्वज धर्म का प्रतीक है, मर्यादा का प्रतीक है, सत्य न्याय और राष्ट्र धर्म का भी प्रतीक है। जन जन को विश्वास अटल था और जब राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ जैसे यशस्वी संगठन के हाथों में कमान आई तो हर एक मुंह से बिना किसी परवाह करके एक ही उद्घोष निकलता था कि राम लला हम आएंगे, मंदिर वहीं, लाठी गोली खाएंगे, मंदिर वहीं। प्रभु श्री राम का यह भव्य मंदिर 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की आस्था, सम्मान और आत्म गौरव का प्रतीक है। इस भव्य मंदिर के निर्माण में योगदान देने वाले उन सभी कर्मयोगियों का भी मैं हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं। आज का यह पावन दिन उन पूज्य संतों, योद्धाओं, श्री राम भक्तों की अखंड साधना, संघर्ष को समर्पित है, जिन्होंने इस पूरे आंदोलन और संघर्ष के लिए अपना जीवन समर्पित किया।
And we are joined also by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Mahant Sudhir Das Maharaj from the Shri Ram Mandir in Nashik in Maharashtra. Acharya ji, thank you very much for being with us. Now put this into context for us, the whole purpose of today, how it feels, first of all, that this has come to a fulfillment.
आज का जो धर्म ध्वजा
जी
यशस्वी पंत प्रधान नरेंद्र जी मोदी जी के शुभ कर कमल द्वारा राम मंदिर के ऊपर चढ़ा गया, ये 500 साल के संघर्ष का इतिहास आज लगता है परिपूर्ण हो गया। लेकिन राष्ट्र के लिए कोई चीज जो है परिपूर्ण होती नहीं है, उसको आगे भी देखना पड़ता है, पीछे भी देखना पड़ता है और इन प्रेजेंट क्या चल रहा है उसको भी देखना पड़ता है। तो द अवेयरनेस जो नेशन है उसके लिए जो आज आदरणीय मोहन जी ने भी अपने स्पीच में बताया, पंत प्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भी बताया कि वृक्ष का प्रतीक जो वो ध्वज के ऊपर है, तो वृक्ष स्वयं अपने ऊपर धूप सहन लेता है और दूसरे को छांव देता है, धूप में स्वयं खड़ा रहता है, फल दूसरों को देता है। उसी प्रकार सत्पुरुष होते हैं, उसी प्रकार राष्ट्र का भी कार्य चलना चाहिए। ये सबसे बड़ा 500 साल का इतिहास का जो संघर्ष है, लगता है आज एक मुकाम पे पहुंच गया। और ध्वजाकारी केतु की जो विशेष रूप अवस्था है वो ध्वज के ऊपर होती है, तो वो ध्वजा स्थापन हो गया। मुझे लगता है कि सबसे बड़ी उपलब्धि अगर राम जन्मभूमि के 500 साल के आंदोलन की है, मुझे लगता है आज उसकी हनुमान जी महाराज की कृपा से इति कर्तव्यता हो गई।
Indeed, sir. Let me talk to Mr. Sanjay Singh. Mr. Singh, if you could put into context for us, the shedding of the slavery mindset that Prime Minister talked about. How does one achieve this decolonization that you were talking about?
See, the problem began during a colonial period when our cultural heritage, our kind of institutions, they were all derived. And they said India is inferior, this is a country of snake charmers and monkey worshippers and so on and so forth. And that was told derisively. Unfortunately, post-independence, the government that came in here and the historians who till recently were very revered and the intellectuals and even our textbooks, they started telling us that, of course, we also grew up reading certain things and now we realize that that in fact was a wrong thing to be told to impressionable minds. And the references that he gave today, of course, he referred to Macaulay, the language that we are speaking is his contribution again. But it's not about language, it's about the change in mindset. Anything that belonged to them and everything that belonged to us was inferior, and everything belonged to them was superior. Democracy is one thing. India was mother of democracy. Lumbini, Lakshmi, Kasali, and therefore he also referred to a village in Tamil Nadu, where there is a Shila Lake, which talks about how democracy was functional there thousands of years ago. This is a mindset whereby this government is going step by step. He said this thing during his speech from Red Fort, the decolonization project. The decolonization project is not just about institutions, though of course he mentioned about flag and insignia of a naval ship. And that change has taken place there. We see Rajpath change to Kartavya Path, racecourse change to the Kartavya Path. Now you also had Lutyens Delhi going through a transformation, and the Kartavya Bhavans have come up because the government is not a place where you rule. It is about duties that you perform, that
Right.
people have chosen you to perform. This is about the whole kind of textbook has been giving us a kind of completely different narrative. So Prime Minister is talking about a whole lot of things,
Yes.
whereby if we revive our national symbols, our cultural symbols, the kind of rich cultural, civilizational cultural heritage that we had, the world, we had been kind of a spiritual guru in terms of intellectual thought, in terms of our conduct. And this is the time that we start taking pride in all those things. This Dharam Dhwaj, some people are calling this flag hoisting. That is entirely wrong. As they called inauguration to Pran Pratishtha, there is no substitute of these words in English.
Right,
So
right.
therefore, we should be also very conscious about how these steps taken by the government, Prime Minister Modi in particular, the kind of vision that he had about Ram Mandir. And Ram Navami ke din, the sunlight should straight away come to Ramchandra ji statues forehead. Those are things which needs that kind of vision, that kind of dedication. The way he narrated Valmiki Ramayana, the way he narrated Tulsi Ramayana, the way he moved from Hindi to Sanskrit to
Yes.
Avdi, that was phenomenal. That is the project, decolonization project that he is talking about.
Indeed. Do stay with us, Mr. Sanjay Singh. I'll come back to you. We're taking a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue to focus on the significance of today at the Ram Janmabhoomi Temple. Do stay with us.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
That's exactly what save your.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls' pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India. Welcome back. We are continuing to focus on what the Prime Minister said and the larger significance of his message. Mr. Sanjay Singh is with us, senior journalist. Sanjay Singh, we played out, the Prime Minister talking about the Saptha Mandapam or the 7 temples. And really, he spoke about why it brings out the values of social harmony. Could you highlight that a little bit for us and, the significance of it also in the context of the larger aim of Ram Raja?
See, that is a great thing to have been said by the Prime Minister. Of course, when we were talking about the vision as to what kind of Ram temple should come up and what kind of Ayodhya should be, Vikas and Virasa, this is one particular thing which he talked about. The idols that have been established there, people who helped even smallest. He also talked about Gilhari and Jitai, who find a place for themselves and for any pilgrims to be going there. More than that, if you are going there to have an idea about Lord Ram, Bhagwan Ram, and people who helped him to achieve his mission, and when in his PM Modi's word, when he left from home for Banwas, he left as Yuvraj Ram. When he returned, he became Maryada Purushottam Ram. And what made that transformation, and who were all those people who helped him in this particular transformation? Of course, it was Bhagwan Ram's ideals and his conduct. But at the same time, everybody, those who helped, and everyone, those who narrated Ramayana for us, they find a place. Mata Shabri, these days, not many people talk about Janjati, Adivasi, and their rights and so on and so forth. Recently, something very, in fact, yesterday or day before, something very unfortunate happened in Delhi.
Yes.
And an unfortunate incident happened when, in name of tribal, some people were kind of asking for assertion of Naxalism.
Right,
that kind of distorted narrative that has crept in Indian society. And that is again also done to target the present dispensation. Whereas in contrast, Prime Minister is talking about Mata Shabri, whose idol is installed there. She is one revered person, and we know Mata Shabri's love and affection for Bhagwan Ram. And it is, we need not go in those details. But it was thought that her idol should be placed there. Valmiki Ramayana, you have international airport in Ayodhya named after Rishi Valmiki, those who wrote first Ramayana, and he was also a Dalit. Then you have a whole lot of other Rishi Munis who find a place in this Saptati Mandir. And also, as we can see, then you have Hanuman, and then you have other Bhagwans also, plus these great says.
Right.
This is one moment when you go there, and when you take a tour of those things, you understand what kind of culture, what kind of civilization, what kind of society we have been. And when there was this kind of coordination, cultural samrasta, as we say, bonhomie, that prevailed in olden times, and something which we either forget, and we have been made to forget about all those things. So when he talks about Punarjagran, Sanskritic Punarjagran. These are a whole lot of things, small things which contribute to that Punarjagran, that revivalism or rejuvenation or
Right.
Renaissance, whatever you may like to call it.
Mr. Sanjay Singh, also when the Prime Minister talks about the future, I mean, we have the plan, of course, of Viksit Bharat 2047, and the idea is also to build a strong foundation for the country to go forward. But the Prime Minister is looking at, now with Ram Raja and talking about the Mandir and what it symbolizes, a much longer future. In fact, we are also showing you visuals as we speak. Mr. Sanjay Singh is with us. These are visuals of the Prime Minister moving out from the temple complex and returning. We showed you the road show earlier when the Prime Minister was entering into Ayodhya, and some comments also from our studio where we likened it in a sense, because when the arrival to Ayodhya of Lord Ram also was a very significant moment. We looked at it also, the Prime Minister coming there as a devotee, as he puts it himself, as a Pradhan Sevak, to participate in that event, and now he is returning. So in this context, we are looking at flower petals once again being showered on the vehicle of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And we spoke a little earlier also about these flower petals. Most of them are marigold, they are saffron, orange in color, and that signifies the essence of auspiciousness, positive energy of divine surrender. So that's also visible in the flag that was placed at the pinnacle of the temple structure. Of course, Mr. Singh was saying that we should not be using the word flag hoisting because it's a much deeper ceremony. It shouldn't be reduced to just the meaning of flag hoisting. Well, Mr. Singh, you're with us. Do continue your thoughts. I interrupted you while we showed those visuals.
No, it's fine. Those visuals, in fact, give further talking points.
Yes.
See, it's Ayodhya. In Devghar, Baba Dham, he built an airport, and that whole corridor has been built there for the kind of amenities that have been introduced there. In other places, in Kedarnath, in Badrinath, the kind of redevelopment that has taken place, in Ujjain, the kind of development that has taken place, that whole corridor has been built there. The kind of developments that has gone to other religious places, these are places of our cultural symbols. Before Pran Pratishtha, he visited all important temples in South India, which in some way or the other were attached to Prabhu Shri Ram, his journey to Lanka, his return, and all those things. So this is a moment, this is one such moment whereby you just sit, see, watch as to what is happening.
Right.
Another very important thing which he said today about Dharm Dhwaj, that it's not only those who are visiting there. In fact, if you watch the Dharm Dhwaj, which is put on top of the Ram temples, you kind of receive the blessings and you instantly connect with the place. So it's not necessary, he understands not everybody will be able to come here. Everybody has their own issues. Some can make it, some don't. So if you can't make it, don't feel underprivileged. You watch this thing live, you watch those visuals, and you can pray from there, and you connect it from there. See, the faith is the dharma, your Sanatan Dharma in particular is about your Astha. And your Astha, the greatness of Hindu philosophy is that it does not say we are supreme kind of believers or our God is one God which is supreme. We called about Sarv Dham Sambhav, and that is a great message which emanates from there. as we were talking about the Saptarishi,
Right.
this is again kind of emanates from same philosophy, Sarv Dharm Sambhav. And it was also wonderful to watch the kind of cordial bonhomie that we saw between Prime Minister Modi and RSS Sarsantalak Mohan Bhagwat. And after a while, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Governor Anandibet Patel
Yes.
joining them. And what Yogi Adityanath said there, he of course has a great role in kind of making this transformation happen. His guru was deeply associated with Ram Temple movement. It's incidental. Fortunately, Prime Minister Modi is there at the center to give a larger vision, to bigger outlines. And Yogi
Right.
Adityanath is there to implement that thing with his kind of concepts and see that this whole thing is implemented to the perfection. And Ayodhya development is one such story which will go down in history as the transformation that in India has taken, the kind of civilizational research that has taken place with economic benefit of modern times.
So clearly, the vision is very long term, and in fact, looking at 1,000 years of Ram Raja in a sense. But you know, you were talking about how we should not be looking at this as a flag hoisting. And you even said the Pran Pratishta was, you know, being given the description of an inauguration. Put that sacredness into context for us, because it's also being looked at as the second Pran Pratishta. Is that a fair assessment to say that, you know, that this ceremony that took place today is in a sense a second Pran Pratishta?
See, honestly, I cannot comment about second Pran Pratishtha because that Dharm Guru will kind of be better placed to explain that. But Pran Pratishtha is one such sacred ceremony. When before Pran Pratishtha, that statue of idol is just a statue. After Pran Pratishtha is done, through all those elaborate rituals with the kind of purity, the kind of serenity, the kind of devotion that it attached to with the process, it is believed that the supernatural power that the god has enters into in the statue, and he gets transformed into from a murti to a representation of Ishwar or Bhagwan. Same way that flag hoisting, which some people or inadvertently or perhaps I don't know, I'm not sure how it also crept up. Saffron flag hoisted, it says, may I say, if we can write simply, Dharm Dhwaj hoisted. Because saffron, as we know, saffron is color.
Yes.
This color, of course, is attached with our kind of civilizational heritage, Sanatan Dharma, and there are several other connotations of saffron color. During freedom struggle, our freedom struggle fighters wore Kesariya Dhwaj, Kesariya Jhanda, and they fought against Britishers. So this is the color of valor, courage, devotion, everything.
So indeed, so we you suggest that we refer to it as the Dhwaja, and in fact,
a few things which I believe does not necessarily have to undergo a translation.
True.
If you are talking about decolonization project, let other understand our sensitivity also.
Fair enough. So if we take if we look at Ram Raja and what it stands for. To what extent can can today's occasion be a reminder for everybody who is involved with governance to adopt the principles of Ram Raja, of inclusivity, of good governance, of ethics, of moral behavior, of dharma, of justice, all these things?
As we see, Prime Minister Modi, since he came to power in May 2014, he has been talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas. And the kind of initiatives that he has undertaken, in the sense, a simple thing like a toilet, a simple thing like a gas connection, a simple thing like electricity, a simple thing like water availability, tap water. These are the things which, see, Ramraj is a concept, some people call it utopian concept, but it is actually a concept of how a state should be, how the statecraft should be, and how the governance and people who are ruling the state should be. It's kind of you call it a charter of duties for all concerned, for the citizens as well as the rulers, those who are at the helm. If move forward, if we talk about a Viksit Bharat, where everybody has a participation. Today he talked about Gilhari or squirrel. Small effort by during Prabhu Ram's kind of move to Ayodhya, to Lanka, to fight against Ravan. And that small effort, his squirrel's, Gilhari's contribution is remembered and has been put in scriptures. Same way, if everybody contributes his bit or her bit to nation building, that would be a great thing to have been done.
Indeed.
We have seen that we have become, India as a society has lately become inspirational. We are confident of ourselves. We see world eye to eye, not something like, say, you are superior or we are superior. We have seen in recent kind of situation in tensions world over, in kind of dealing with so-called superpowers, that we have come to a next level under Prime Minister Modi's governance, and he himself sees himself as representative of 140 crore people. Therefore, which gives him strength to talk to eye to anybody who considers himself high and mighty on the global stage. So that thing about Ramraj, this is open to interpretation as to how you see. My
Indeed,
idea is...
it's all, I mean, I was asking you from the point of view really of governance, but you've talked also about the duty of every individual in the entire process. And it's not only the political class who would, let's say, like to represent like let's say, the kings of old, but it is also the governing class and let's say the bureaucracy or those involved with governance who need to imbibe these values for India to be Viksit by 2047, because at the end of the day, I mean, it is a well-oiled machine that will actually function rather than, you know, obstacles in the course of progress.
Yeah, sure. That's the way. In fact, and a lot of that transformation has taken place. This generation has seen the kind of transformation that has India has undergone. We, in people of my generation, people of my age, have seen that the kind of the fast-paced change that is taking place in India. More than that, about Ramraj is about the governance and people who are at the helm, the sense of duty of people also there. And then the debate can move on to something else. But I would say at the moment that government is trying its every bit that ease of living, people's life becomes much easier. There is some, their earning goes high. They get some useful kind of rojgar, which is either in terms of self-employment or in terms of regular jobs or something. Because if development takes place, if infrastructure is built, some kind of job opportunity comes up there. The Ramraj is also about kind of people can, if development takes place in their own vicinity, in their own area, then people perhaps can stay with their own family, their friends, their kinship, that bond remains. Yes. So India is making a progress in that direction.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay Singh. Thank you for being with us and putting into context the Prime Minister's speech and the importance of this occasion and the symbolism and how mere words in English may not be enough to describe, let's say, the solemnity, the sacredness of today's occasion, which we are terming as the completion of the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Thank you very much for watching. Namaskar.